began as an idyllic weekend outing, but something went wrong. Stranded, alone, or are they?
Man, something really weird is going on around here.
Harry, what is the matter?
Man, that's weird.
He tried to kill me!
Unhinged. The nightmare has begun.
The nightmare that is the third segment has now begun. And we're back after watching a fabulous movie that I just saw for the first time and I loved it, Deadly Twins.
I'm noticing the chat is very split right now.
It's split in one direction. Nora seems to be the dissenter. Or maybe John didn't like it either because
Yeah, I think it's roughly even.
Mandy was enthusiastic though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of makeup issues and a lot of but
I mean, I
like
feel like that describes the entire decade of the 80s, like
Yeah.
makeup issues.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, everybody was airbrushed to perfection.
yeah. The eyes have it. That's what that felt like.
Well, maybe perfection is a strong word, but they were definitely painted.
I enjoyed it. It also felt very someone just brought up that they're expecting Al Cliver's voice guy. Matt said that to show up from a Fulci film. Really, this maybe why Gigi likes it. It feels like a late model Fulci film mixed with a
I just like it because it's trying to do too much all of the time.
Yeah.
And watching it flail around trying to do way too many things is hilarious to me.
I wish it was an HBO Max series so I could watch it each week.
I was so impressed what they actually managed to do, because when I realized it was shot on video, I'm like, oh, what is it really going to be? But this movie had some real action in it. I was totally impressed.
That car sign at the end, that car wreck at the end was the budget.
And they had a helicopter to work with, and let's see, there was
that part felt very late period Lee Frost. Dixie Dynamite has almost the same chase in it, if anybody has seen that.
And we mentioned The Thing with Two Heads also.
Oh, yes. That also goes on for like 15 minutes. Yeah, someone who drives. That was a hoopty, right? Because I don't drive, but it looked like a piece of shit.
Yeah. It didn't look, as you said, it does not look like a car for a chase film.
It kind of looked like a Pinto to me. I don't know.
Yeah, very Pinto-ish. I did like the music in this movie was wild. Like it was like, should we be behind the scene, or should we be as loudly over top of it as possible? And also had someone brought up 2 love themes tonight. I missed the love theme from the first movie, but a lot of love themes tonight.
That's another reason I love 3 on a Meat Hook, is because it has a doom ballad in it, and this movie kind of did too.
100% agree with Alan. That's what I actually said. I wanted to say that when we were talking. If the Lander sisters did Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, they're old enough for it now. Let's kickstart it right now. Send money to Bill. He'll spend it the right way. Also, she survived jumping out a window and getting shoved down the steps.
Uh-oh.
An
Apparently,
iron
Judy Landers is a fucking cyborg.
Yeah, she can't be. She's the alienator too.
It looks like our broadcast stopped.
Oh,
I don't know.
did it? No, I
Did
think
it?
it's still good.
Let's see. Let me look on camera. If you're in the chat,
Can you tell us if you can hear us?
Yeah.
well, I just opened it and
I opened it and it's showing the trailer from the beginning.
yeah, me too. Okay.
Alan says that he can see everybody.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, there we
You
are.
see
Hey.
us? You can hear us? We're good?
We're back.
I guess it was
Hey.
just lagging a little bit.
No, I got a message.
Oh.
A message popped up that said, "Oops, Facebook stopped your broadcast."
Ugh.
Cut out for a split second. Okay.
Oh,
Right.
but who's your favorite Lander sister?
I'm Judy. I am Team Judy.
You're Judy.
How are we defining favorite in this case?
Just who do you feel more strongly about, Audrey or Judy?
The fact that Judy could make herself look enough like Audrey that they could sell themselves as twins is impressive, because quite frankly, only one of them got the body and the face.
I think it's kind of interesting. Audrey Landers was the pop star in Germany, but Judy Landers was probably a higher profile actress.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really let's look at Audrey's IMDb credits.
Let us.
She's done a lot.
She's going to get an alert as soon as you open the page up, Bill.
Oh yeah, I hope.
Matthew, I don't think any of them did any adult films. I don't think they did.
No, they didn't. I don't think so.
Neither did Dear Abby, another Lander sister.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Her character's name in this movie was Anne.
Yeah.
Audrey's character's name was Anne, and her real last name is Landers. It's
Yeah.
like, well, that was somebody's idea of a joke.
I mean, I think it's hilarious. So yeah.
I guess they both had similar acting credits, but Audrey definitely.
Only one was on Dallas, though. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's probably the thing that they remember either one of them for. That and the fact that they posed for Playboy, but they weren't nude. It was a clothed pictorial, and people were, I guess, really pissed at the time.
Judy was on BJ and the Bear.
Yeah, I saw that. That's the days too where people couldn't like pre-look at Playboy online. They bought it. They tore open the Mylar bag at home. They're like, "They slayed your sisters." They flipped out.
Yeah. Like, there's people who are still salty about this how many years later. So I guess it was a big deal.
Those fucking raincoaters.
You know what, though? I can't talk shit on raincoaters because how many
know.
exploitation movies do I watch?
Yeah. The I told the story about Dracula and my mom. The first woman that I ever heard my dad say, he was looking at a Playboy at a newsstand, and he said, "That Margot Kidder has something," because she did an interview, and my mom just said, "Your son is standing right there. Please put the Playboy away."
Yeah, John brought up some excellent what the fuck points.
Yeah.
This is a lot of what was going on in my mind. That the Lander sisters themselves. Oh, look, it's scrolls now.
Oh, look at that. Production values, y'all.
Oh, the next level of Be Live.
Oh,
it's still going to knock you offline. It's still going to be hard to use, but it scrolls now.
I love you.
And did anyone ask for it to scroll? No.
No.
I didn't.
We're working on the other stuff that's real bad, but how about the scrolling, guys?
Quite frankly, the 8 years part is just because, Germany has a much less punitive system, but everything else, yes, very that. None of it makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought his 8-year sentence was a little light. I wanted to rewind and make sure I'd heard that right. It was like a very unsatisfying episode of Law and Order.
Dun dun.
Cutter can't get the villain in jail. They get away, or they get a really light sentence, and
they come back and attack. What's her name? There's that whole season arc where she had to deal with him.
Are you talking about when Alex had to go in witness protection?
I sure am. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I know how much Law and Order you may not have picked to watch too.
there was another season where one of the DAs was murdered. So I guess
I'm also watching Cold Case too.
she
So
watched that season and she knew what to expect.
Cold Case is like the C team SVU.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, you know, we couldn't make it to SVU. We're in Philadelphia. It's not as cool, and we haven't saw some cases go back 50 years.
Alan,
And,
I agree that more movies need a second musical number by having your co-star watch a beta and cry.
Yeah. Also, no episode of Law and Order is ever, like, every episode of Cold Case is based around bands. And there was a Pearl Jam episode last week that nearly crippled me. I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Ooh.
Make this stop. This is horrible. What's next? An Offspring episode? Come on. Yeah, my favorite part of this movie was when they were trying to tape the mouth shut of the bank guy, and they couldn't get it done. And then it turned into a caper movie. And then there was like, and Bill's right, they teased a guy's arm was going to be cut off with a saw. And you don't set that up and not deliver. You know what I mean? It's like Fulci didn't put a drill near somebody's eye and be like, no, I'm not going to do it. He was like, I am going to do it.
You can't Chekhov's gun. I just mentioned it.
Chekhov's bandsaw.
Yeah.
Yep. But man, I like that Mandy's description of the song is the Tennessee Diamond in the Rough, that Heaven song. Yeah, there's the two. I also love that. I missed the first number because I was eating a sandwich, which really feels like the worst thing I've ever done on the show. But the second number was scrumptious. That's really the only words I have for it.
The costumes for the first number were better, though.
Oh, how many shoulder pads were in this movie? All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. However many people were in this movie, multiply by 100.
More than you'll see tomorrow during every game.
Steroid shoulder pads. And I kept thinking the whole time too, you know, this really is not hearkening back to what a couple people said in chat. This is not a great revenge that these women get. And what they really needed on their side, they needed Nomi Malone on their side.
Give back my suitcase.
She would have kicked the shit out of them.
Bill, spoiler for this week's movies on my site. I watched Joe D'Amato's Showgirls movie. His last movie he ever made was called Showgirl. It's an adult film. It's violently not good. Like it really goes out of its way. Like it's really bad. It's awesome. So look for that. It's up next Saturday. It was just called Showgirl. He wasn't even trying at that point.
I don't know. I find the bad adult films are the hardest films to watch.
This one was like, it's just like a slog, real bad.
Adult films in general are an acquired taste. If you're watching them, like, you know, for reasons other than just to see the sex. And
yeah.
There's
you're watching it longer than in 45-second bursts now.
But yeah, I watched one. I kept seeing ads for this adult film called 3 Shades of Flesh.
Mm.
And I forget who directed it. I can't speak very well on these types of films yet, but I was like, I'm going to check it out, you know, and I found it. It was posted on like Pornhub or something. And it started out really great. I think it was set in San Francisco, and there was all this really great photography of it. I was like, wow, this really does not look like something that would have been marketed as hardcore porn. There was hardcore porn in it. Like, the gimmick was that there were 3 ladies living together, and they were all 3 different races, like 3 shades of flesh.
Oh, just like all of those 70s occupation movies where they have like 3 nurses or 3 teachers.
Stewardesses, yeah.
Yeah.
But then it just degenerated into nothing. Like it was like a movie where they gave up halfway through.
You know, it's like remember on Saturday Night Live?
I've never seen that before.
Remember when they would have Tales of Ribaldry on Saturday Night Live, and it would be he would finally get to the point like, well, this won't do. This was so naughty and fun, and now it's just kind of ecological at this point. I'm really happy that I agree. The fact that there are a lot of guys whose hair was balding in this really. Both these movies were probably made you feel good. The balding guys were leads and romantic leads at that. Especially in the second movie, they really did not shy away from showing how bald that guy was going. Like it was always the worst angles for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right at the back of his head, right where the spot was. It's like, that's rude. You didn't have to do that. That man
I
must have
guess
pissed
he
somebody
wasn't the
off.
money man.
I've got one going, so one of these days I'm gonna look up and be like, oh, that got a lot worse really fast. For
And
now, it's still kind of like, you know.
but there was one guy in this movie for Bill, even though his clothes were horrible. His like rayon like cop suit was not good, but
Stop.
at least he got in. At least you got
His
a little
press and go cop suits.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was going on with that? He had those like stars.
Epaulets.
It looked like a suspender cut in half and sewed onto the
I
top.
mean, it very much may well could have been.
I've got my suspenders on tonight. Yeah, I've got my Scullies on.
Why are you so cool? Why do you have to be the cool one, huh?
I'm trying too hard. That's the reason.
I mean, if it works, it works. I'm not mad.
I want to have my own ad nauseum book one day.
I mean, you might coming out in a few weeks.
Maybe. I wish. I mean, I keep saying I'm going to do a drive-in asylum compilation of the first like 7 issues, because I don't know, like I feel like around our 8th issue we really like took a better direction, and it became less of a visual thing, and then there was also some content in it, some real content that I had gone out and gotten myself, and I felt differently about it. So I just want to like compile those first 7 issues and put them out as a book. So look for that one day. It will not be as good as Ad Nauseum, but hey.
Hey, you want me to make this drink?
Yes, let's drink.
Please.
All right. So this last drink, this is for the first movie, and this is the Kentucky Buck on a meat hook drink. So we're going to start this drink with some strawberries that I bought at Sheetz. If you live in
How expensive was that?
$4.65.
Damn.
That's how much I care about you guys. I spent $4.65 on these. At Wawa, they probably would have been cheaper, but there's no Wawas here. So we're going to muddle these. Oh, man. Insert muddling music. I wish we had some of the music from this movie that could play
Right.
while.
We'll choose a love theme.
Yeah, the love theme from the muddler. It's like the mangler, but it's shitty. Shittier.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I love it. I've so many times used that movie as like a reference for a bad movie, and people are like, "Hey, I really like that movie." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well, it was nice being friends with you. All right. There we go. That's significantly muddled up.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah. Pureed.
Fancy.
All right. I'm trying to do this so I don't make a mess. All right. Now we put the ice into the muddle. And now we're going to mix. And yes, I did make a mess. Good thing Becca's asleep. This is a good time for Becca to go to sleep. All right. We're going to shake up some bourbon. We're using some Pittsburgh Pirates Jim Beam.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, they traded this Jim Beam away at the end of the season because it was too good. There's a joke. You have to be from Pittsburgh and care about sports to get. Oh, I spilled that all over my computer.
I saw that. That was drama.
Yeah, let me hold on. Perhaps a paper towel would be good at this moment, at this juncture. Hold on, please.
So anyway, Gigi, how's that whiskey?
I mean, is whiskey ever wrong?
No, never.
No.
All right. Did it get in the keys? No, it did not. And it cleaned. It cleaned nicely.
I haven't done this to you yet tonight.
All right. So we got the Jim Beam in there. Cool. Now we're going to add some lemon juice. God, Jesus. You know what? Get a concussion and then make drinks. That's what I advise.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a good plan. All right, we got lemon juice. Let's do 3/4 of an ounce. That sounds right. I'm like Daredevil. I make things by sound. All right, and now we're gonna do some simple syrup. Do a for us, Matt's like, we do a third movie. I don't know if we're
Or the moment flick.
Yeah.
Well, you can go watch one when we're done.
Let's watch things. No.
Oh,
right.
don't do that to Matthew.
Yeah. And then finally we're gonna do these, and I gotta go get one other thing in the fridge. God, I suck tonight. Sorry guys.
I mean, Matthew, even if we ever did that, I don't think you'd want any of us making choices right now.
All right, we're gonna pour this first, and then I'll get the ginger beer out of the fridge.
The ginger beer. How could you forget the ginger beer?
I only have one can left too. Whoa, this is fancy. You know, someday I'm gonna have a sink in the kitchen again.
So it's still not done.
So December 22nd is the tentative date of being done. So when we come back next year for the show, perhaps that'll be like the premiere thing in that episode.
Because it wasn't her face he was looking at, Mike.
All right, let me be right back. With the ginger
I'm
beer.
glad that Mike brought that up because that's something that I kept thinking too. I'm like, how does he not know who she is? But
Because he wasn't looking at her face.
he was looking at it twice because there were two of her. Weren't they twins?
He wasn't looking at either of their faces.
All right. Finally, a piece de resistance. All right. Pazuzu.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm. Segment 3.
Did I see you put the strawberries in it?
Yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
muddled them.
I thought I missed that part.
No, they were muddled in the beginning. Super muddled.
Mark, bless you if you decide to watch Fangs this late in the evening.
I mean, it is on Shudder now.
Yeah, it is on Shudder now. You can actually watch it in like a halfway decent print.
You can see a much better version than Gigi and I ever saw.
Yeah. You can look at something that looks less like shit than any print of that film that I personally have seen.
Yeah, exactly. But it's out there, yeah.
I mean,
Oh, I'm very excited about this drink.
oh, I'm glad you had fun this week, Matthew. I'm glad.
So, Sam, did you get anything in the mail?
I did. I have to go get it.
Oh, now look what I've done.
I came back from wrestling and I was woefully unprepared. Hold on, I'll go get it.
So, what third movie should you recommend, Gigi?
Let's see. What would be good?
Yeah, Sam had a great interview on his site this week too.
He had a couple of good interviews in the
Yeah,
last, like week and a half.
Sam's really moving and shaking.
I mean, somebody has to be cool and it's not going to be me. So
Not really.
I'm glad to see it's him.
All right. All right. Up first, we have a book. Oh, the Canon Film Guide that Austin Trunick.
Oh wow.
This is the second volume is coming out in March. And if you like Canon movies, this book is a veritable Bible. And it starts with the Happy Hooker Goes to Washington, so quality. Super excited. Got a whole Canon month coming up in April. Next, speaking of quality, Blast Fighter. Oh, Umberto Bava. One of the few movies of his I like. George Eastman, Michael Sopicow. Wonderful. Also, speaking of quality, there's a Kino sale.
Oh, there you go.
There you go, William Smith. Every movie should have William Smith in it.
Every movie almost does have William Smith.
I know. Mill Creek sent this. Ultraman Gaia.
Wow.
Yeah. And finally, this is not a good movie, but a beautiful set. This is Mill Creek's Street Fighter Steel Box. But this is crazy. I can't believe it. Two things. One, There's a painting of M. Bison on the back of it, which is hilarious. Or Raul Julia. Right? What? I still can't, to this day, can't believe this is Raul Julia's last movie. I mean, what to go out on. But it came with money from the movie and $100 with M. Bison, Raul Julia's M. Bison on the money, which is hilarious.
That's actually really fun.
Yeah, and I can't believe this is a Mill Creek release. This feels like something that, more, like a Arrow or somebody else would do these kind of things.
Oh, so Mandy, have a nice holiday. Thank you so much for always coming to hang out.
Merry Christmas. Yeah, and I like that they did the slipcase has the logo on it too. It's a really nice package.
Yeah, honestly, that looks like better than that movie deserves.
Way better, and it's on blue, and it has a ton of extras. It even has a featurette about Van Damme at Universal, which I can't wait to watch, and a lot of outtakes. The original DVD of this had nothing, very bare bones, because who cared about Street Fighter other than a million kids? But excited. So that's what I got in the mail so far this week.
Okay, I'll take you off full screen then, Sam. You're out of the spotlight, sort of.
At least I cleaned my face up. So after I had full makeup on still when I got home.
Why wouldn't you do the show in makeup?
I should have. You guys really want me to sit here in corpse paint and do the show? Like, never mind.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever's fun for you. Either way.
Yeah.
I'm a literal kind of chick.
There's a Mill Creek does have a social media contest going on right now. If you hashtag Bison Bucks, you may get $100 Bison Bucks from the movie sent to you. So check it out. This is not a paid thing, even though they sent it. Just fun. I think it's cool to have those.
Oh, I actually have something cool to show you guys this week.
Right on.
Awesome.
Sam,
Other than the disgusting amount of softcore I bought from Vinegar Syndrome.
Oh, wow.
But we have the original Japanese poster for, of course, I Drink Your Blood. I haven't put this up yet. I just got the frame back like a couple days ago. So that's my one cool thing I can show you.
That is amazing.
Yeah, here. I'll try and stand far enough back.
That is incredible.
Oh, my God. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
It's my baby. She's lovely.
Yeah, and by the way, Vince brought up about Dollar Tree having movies. I've bought so much stuff at Dollar Tree in the last couple weeks. I didn't show them on the show, but I probably bought a ton. I got a bunch of. They had all the MGM Elvis movies for $1. I mean, come on. So I bought a bunch of those. I got a lot of Stephen Chow movies, a lot of Hong Kong stuff. Like, it's crazy the stuff that Dollar Tree's getting. So not just all junk, but a lot of junk.
I don't know that I have a Dollar Tree.
I was just going to ask you that. I'm like,
Yeah.
you have a dollar?
We have like dollar stores, but I don't think it's Dollar Tree.
Actually, most stuff in Dollar Trees are $1.29 now too, so it's bullshit. But,
yeah, that's phony.
Yeah, come on.
That's super rude.
And also, Mark, thanks for the kind words. I saw that you wrote that earlier about the get crazy thing. That was nuts. I totally did not imagine I was going to talk to Alan Arkish last week.
No, it went really well. Like, you did a great job. You should be proud of it. It's a good piece.
Thank you. Thanks for your kind words when I was freaking out about it. I sent you a message. And I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to realize that if you send me a message about something like that, I just do the thing. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I'm just going to encourage you to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I'm not helpful. I'm just like, why not?
Well, it's strange because I said it at the beginning, or at one point in the interview. I don't think it ended up in the article, but it was like my Chris Farley moment where it's like the pop culture I love, like he lived it. He said, when he went to lunch on the, every day, it was like Dante and Paul Bartel and Mary Warnock. That's who went to lunch with him every day. I've never gone to lunch with that. Like, I've gone to lunch with Bill, and that's pretty cool. But like Paul Bartel and Mary Warnock and Joe Dante and all the other New World folks or whatever company it was at the time going to lunch with you. But it was really cool. The other really interesting thing I think that came out was he felt like the best part of his career was then because studio notes suck, obviously, and they're by somebody that doesn't understand a movie versus Corman notes were very on the money. Like, because it was all about how do you make this movie better, not about I like blue or I like green. You know what I mean? It was very, very to the point.
You have to
I
find
like
a bit part for my mistress.
exactly. I like Matt. I like The Wrestler. I don't love it. There's a lot in it that no wrestler would throw their gear away. They would sell it on eBay. Like everything's about making money for wrestlers. So there's a lot of it. I do like the ending a lot. I like that it's kind of dark. Mickey Rourke did a pretty good job though. He looks like an. I've wrestled every guy he wrestles in that movie, which is funny. It's like all the 3 major matches he's had. I've wrestled all 3 of those guys, so it was kind of cool to see it. But like the way the matches were filmed was a little weird, but I like it. I mean, it's good for a major Hollywood movie about wrestling, which there are. Ready to Rumble and that. Good. Is it a Santo movie? No. But what is, really? You know?
No mascara.
No mascaras, yeah. But yeah, there's what is this? I also talked to Grady Hendrix this week, which was cool. That's a little easier. Like, you know what I mean?
He's like very you don't have to pry the answers out of him.
Nah.
No, he will gladly answer any question you ask him in detail.
He's super, like, the cool thing though is like the first like 20 minutes, which isn't an interview with Alan Arkish, was talking about novelty records, because he had like his whole office it's a gigantic room of just records, and he was like putting them away while we were starting to talk, and I can't remember how we got on it. We started talking about like Battle of New Orleans and all these really horrible like 60s and 70s like novelty records, and then he was also laughing because he had like 90 Blu-ray stacked up because he's still working on Trailers from Hell. So these were the trailers that he had to watch and do comments on. So it was weird. I was happy because I was really worried I was going to have one of those moments where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to somebody that's made like movies that I really love. But it went pretty well. In person, it wouldn't have happened, but you know, through the beauty of Skype, it was much easier.
I can't believe that I mean, you don't seem like you would be intimidated by anybody.
It's just certain people. I think if somebody's like really important to me, you know what I mean? Like other people, like, you know, actors that would be super important to the rest of the world. Like I'm just picking somebody. I don't know how important they are. But like George Clooney, I'd be like, yeah, it's George Clooney. But you know, if Bruno Mattei was still alive, I'd be like a child. I would like, I can't talk to you. This is too much. This is too much. You made some of the worst movies ever that I adore. You made The Women's Hell, shot on video in the Philippines. You know, you're the Italian Godfrey Ho. You're wonderful, and you know. But anyway, Mark said that he watched his first Santo and Blue Demon versus the Monsters. I would say that's a really wonderful one to pick because some of the monsters in that movie are awesomely ridiculous. So I really dig it. You know what movie I did?
Halfway through that, I still have to finish the rest of it.
Oh, please do. I watched. Speaking of bad movies, I watched Vampire Hookers this week, and holy shit! If any movie's ever been made for me, it may be.
Really? That movie's so like nothing happened.
That's the thing, though. I like that John Carradine is like, you know what? I would really like to read some Shakespeare, and they were like, okay, that's fine, we go for it. And it's just, I really liked it. I think I was in the right mood, maybe.
No, and I feel like out of the 3 of us, you're probably the most patient with a really slow-moving movie.
I think the person above you might be patient with really slow movies. Bad movies, yes, that's my job. But yeah, slow movies.
The glacial pace attracts me.
Yeah, the glacial pace of the bat people is the pain to his life. He loves it. This is the nectar of which he sips.
Well,
I suppose I could deal with it, but you know, how many people are being slutty? Is the sluttiness quotient enough to suffer through the glacial pace or not?
I don't remember a whole lot of dirty stuff in Vampire Hookers, to be honest. I mean,
Yes, and that's probably why I was bored.
Yeah.
It's like, it's another one of those movies where you're like, there's a showgirl and she's not going to take her clothes off, and there's prostitutes and they're not going to sleep with anybody. Do you know what I mean? It's like this.
Yeah, it's like everybody gets the week off during the duration of this film's narrative.
I watched the Unicorn Killer TV movie this week, which is horrible, but you know, you expect anything different. And there's like a scene where his girlfriend, he makes her work in an adult club, a men's club. And I know it's a TV movie, but like all the guys are going nuts and she's just wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And like, then she walks off the stage and I'm like,
Vince, you could ask what movie was Carradine in during lots of movies, not just vampire hookers. It got to the point where, they shouldn't have been wheeling that man out the care home.
Mm-hmm.
And you were nobody.
Really I think he's very with it in The Howling. I really like him in The Howling. But that's also a much bigger budget movie, and he's probably paid a little better.
He doesn't have much to do. He does get like a partial transformation scene in it, though. I think he had some contact lenses and fangs.
Yeah. I have a thing. I don't know. We've had a whole week of Philippine war movies, so obviously the Philippines were this week's movie, so maybe that's what it was. Holy cow, though, Bill! This week, 70 Joe D'Amato movies. It finally made it happen, though. I can't wait. There's literally like one an hour. So if you follow via email and you get email updates to the site, I apologize because you're going to get bombarded with some
Joe
of the
D'Amato movies.
Yeah. Also, what I really love, and I know Gigi and I have talked about Laura Gemser a lot, is that even in the movies she's not technically in, she shows up because she did his costuming for his like 90s movies, which is hilarious. Their costumes in this movie, but whatever. She also did the costumes for Troll 2. But she's in it, and she will randomly show up as always like a prostitute with a heart of gold that doesn't charge people money, which you're Laura Gemser, you can charge people money. You know what I mean? You should charge people a lot.
Like if anybody gets to charge people money.
If anybody gets to charge money, it's you because you're an angel that has flown too close to the ground. But anyway, stay tuned for a whole week where movies where I try not to be. How many ways can I say nice things?
Well, you try not to sound like a raincoater.
Yeah, exactly. I said that to you. I said, I really apologize when you read a week of these because I really don't want to come off like that. This is a scientific exploration of
Matthew, unfortunately, this is the last episode for the year. So this technically is like the New Year's Eve episode, I guess.
Even though it's not really New Year's Eve.
If it was actually New Year's Eve, there would be glitter, there would be corsetry. Y'all know me already. I would not be sitting here in a t-shirt. That would not be allowed. But this is the last episode for the year.
We'll be back in January. We'll be back sometime in January. I'll post the schedule on the site or on the Facebook page.
I mean, there's no Mariah Carey on the show, but there is Mariah Carey at McDonald's starting Monday. So, as we talked about.
Well, guess who's getting some nuggets on Monday?
That is every time I go downtown here. There's a McDonald's a mile from our house, and Becca goes, if you want to stop and bring back some McNuggets. And like, how many? She's like, I don't know, 20. And
what does Mariah Carey have to do with any of it?
Because she's getting a special like celebrity menu or some bullshit. It's probably just nuggets in a different box, but
no, every day, for the 12 days of Christmas, Mariah is giving you something free every time you buy something.
Ah.
I mean, she's not, but
she's not going to be standing there to give you something.
Oh my God. If she was there, Becca would be at McDonald's right now, like beating on the windows, screaming. So she would be super excited.
They could have a Mariah vending machine in every McDonald's, and you just go and you get your free item from her, and she screams at you when it falls out.
It just falls out of her hand.
Yeah.
God damn it. What an idea. Yeah, Becca said, I don't want that app on my phone, but you have to get it. And you have to tell me what Mariah has every day. And I was like, yes, we just celebrate our 7th anniversary. I guess this is part of it. So, you know what I mean? This is how it happens.
Gigi,
congratulations, you crazy kids.
Yeah,
congratulations, happy anniversary. Gigi, what do you have coming up on your site this week?
This week we are continuing on with December. Tomorrow is a fun little piece of Hicksploitation. I think somebody brought this up in the chat earlier, which is funny. I think the day after that, I'm finally going to sit down and watch Mad Foxes, which I've been studiously avoiding for like God knows how many years. Let's see. Okay, we've got Hicksploitation, Mad Foxes, a really amazing, kind of disjointed but still really cool film by a French porn director that is not a porno movie. One of my favorite copyright infringement films, and actually also up this week is a movie that you recommended to me, Bill.
Oh, what's that?
The Night God Screamed is on my schedule. So.
Oh man.
Yes. I can't wait to get the Gigi Graham take on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how good the take will be because it's usually at about like day like 18, somewhere between 16 and 18, where my taste and my ability to form words gets real questionable.
I really hope you love it.
So, hopefully at that point, I'm not just like desperately key smashing and like crying in a corner.
I want to find that online so we can stream it and so we can do it on the show, because it's just one of the weirdest things that I've seen. It's kind of all over the place.
It's one of those things that I'm always like, oh, I should watch this. It would probably be interesting. And then I just never do that. And one of the fun things about doing December every year is I finally can like go through my list and force myself to watch things that have been sitting on it for ungodly amounts of time.
That's what I've been trying to do with like, that's why I do all the theme weeks, because like, when would I choose to watch Scanner Cop? But I did, and I'm not upset that I watched it.
No, Scanner Cop is actually pretty fun.
It's way better than it should be. Like, I was like shocked. I'm like, I really love this. So super into it. Should anyone watch every Hellraiser movie in a row? No.
But
I've actually done that, and it's terrible, but
oh man,
my love for Hellraiser as a franchise is definitely a toxic relationship.
Yeah, it's like you keep saying like, the first two are so good.
So good. And then just keep hoping that the next one will be like it used to be.
Yeah, like,
and that it'll be like it was. And like, it's such a waste of good suffering every time.
Yeah, I know. You're like, oh, but, and you think I could, and so many of them are like, I love every IMDb is like, this wasn't originally a Hellraiser movie, but we put the Hellraiser, like, okay, I could figure it out, But yeah, I can't really think of any other franchise. Well, yeah, never mind. I watched 39 Amityville movies. Like, I feel the same way. Nothing's ever going to get close to the second one.
No, I haven't seen very far into the Hellraiser series. Can you school me on this a little bit? Are there ever any new Cenobites in the later sequels?
There's one that has CDs in his face. Yes.
There's plenty of new Cenobites. There is that, but really anything past 3.
One thing I do like about I like 3. I was gonna say, because I like the idea that you get to see the history of like the time. Is that the one where the toy maker and all that stuff? Or is that 4?
But anything past like the first 3, like if you were really a masochist for, don't bother.
The one with the police one, where the cops trying to figure out who stole the girl.
Which one is that? Is that 6?
5, I think. Yeah.
5.
It's not bad, but it's not a Hellraiser movie. If it had been anything else, I would have been like, oh, this isn't bad, but I don't know.
I feel that way about Jason Goes to Hell. I feel like people wouldn't shit on that movie so hard if it had just been a movie not attached to the franchise. Yeah.
Because, again, like you said, the first 2 movies are good, and the third one, you're like, oh, yeah, there's parts of it that I like. And then it's like...
the fourth one is like, okay. And then after that, it just...
And every one of them is like, well, Dimension didn't want to do the budget, and people from Dimension had so many notes, and it's like, okay, well, it's all painful and not good.
Yeah, like, okay, they didn't want to do the budget. There are ways to make an interesting movie on a low budget. This is not it.
No.
Yeah, usually you go back to the first film in the franchise about making an interesting movie on a low budget.
I mean, yeah. And the first one's amazing. Like the first 2 are. The first 2, like, I've watched a million times. And like, I remember seeing them when I was a teenager and not ready for them probably. And just like being mind blown by them. And yeah. I mean,
I had to watch it as an adult to really appreciate it. I mean, like when I saw it, I did see it theatrically when it came out. I guess I was 17, and it was just sort of like it looked like a bunch of gross stuff to me. But like the whole concept of it really just escaped me. I was expecting something like The Evil Dead or something that's
honestly, anytime we're dealing with like weird fetishistic nonsense, I'm there.
Yeah.
So, from the first time I ever saw it, I was like, yes, this is my kind of movie.
As soon as you saw the Cenobites walk in with those costumes, you're like, well, yeah, okay.
Well, no, it's just, I feel like Frank is like the sleaziest sleaze in like all of horror cinema. He spends his last moments before being dragged back to hell, basically hitting on his own knees.
Yeah.
He is so.
He's such a scumbag.
He's not a very nice person.
No, but he is the most unrepentant, horn dog, sleazy asshole in the history of cinema. And something about that just is funny to me.
Oh, yeah. I just like that. There's a lot of that in those movies where, like, especially like his girlfriend. And it's like, even in the second movie when she comes back, like, I know that you've killed a whole bunch of men, but I just really, you're the person for me. You're never going to do that to me.
You didn't need more than one, Vince. Children of the Corn, we were good on one.
We were good on 0 for Leprechaun.
I'll allow the first one because, we need a St. Patrick's Day horror, whatever. Fine. Make a fucking movie about a leprechaun, finding his Lucky Charms or whatever. But, but like, yeah, Leprechaun in the Hood, Leprechaun goes to Vegas, Leprechaun in space, whatever the fuck. No, we didn't need any of that.
I have been clued in on a few of the upcoming Amityville titles beyond the ones that have been announced, and they're going to get even more ridiculous. So I'm super excited. Now that people that put these out found out that I do the reviews, I get these like, hey, here's our next one. Like, thank you for telling me.
You are now the official pipeline for Amityville.
Yeah, my worry is I'm going to end up being one of those talking heads in an Amityville documentary. I'm like, well, Amityville about time. And then nobody wants to hear about Amityville.
You're the one who has to talk about like Amityville in very random places. You will have to talk about the Amityville Walmart at some point.
Oh, Amityville Dollar Store. Yeah, I can't wait. Amityville Dollar General. Yeah. I actually pitched that this week, believe it or not. And it went really well. So who knows?
We got some Leprechaun love in the chat.
I know. People love it.
In space? That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see how that works out for you.
Yeah. Well, Hellraiser went to space too, though, way early. They had the spaceship lament configuration, or what's the anti-lament configuration? Oh, God, I know way too much about Hellraiser. But yeah.
Space, the specific expression.
Yeah.
About that.
As soon as you saw they were in space, you're like, no. You don't have to do that.
For half a second, they were going to make a Hellraiser versus Michael Myers movie. Pinhead versus Michael Myers.
Yeah, Pinhead would fuck him up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, he's from basically an outer dimensional hell. Like, Michael Myers is fucking kiddie games.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ooh, you run around and kill teenagers. I torture people for all eternity. Get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah. Did you know there's somebody that wanted it? Probably.
I was really upset. But I went to see Kayako versus Sadako in the theater. That was my own fault. There's no way a versus movie with two popular franchise demons is going to end in anything other than a lame draw.
But in Japan, they threw out the first pitch for the Tokyo Giants game, which was amazing because they both just sat on the field staring at the crowd and they just went, and threw the ball. Didn't even throw it near the plate. It was amazing.
I don't blame you. I do not blame you. Rather watch Dark Side of the Moon than Leprechaun? Yeah, I can't really argue against.
Was Warwick Davis in that? I don't know what Dark Side of the Moon is. Actually, I know the title. I
know the album.
Well, yeah.
Let's listen to Dark Side of the Moon and watch Leprechaun and see if it syncs up.
Oh, friendship off, y'all.
I hate Pink Floyd. Non-Sid Barrett Pink Floyd I hate, so. Yeah.
Non-Sid Barrett Pink Floyd. Well, you're just
I'm a
discriminating Pink Floyd fan.
I know. Well, it's because as I grew up, everybody in my grade school loved Pink Floyd, and I got made fun of for liking the bands that I liked. So.
Yeah, that was my problem with bands like that. Like, I secretly liked them. Like Led Zeppelin 2 was my favorite album when I was 3. And I knew how to go get it out of the sleeve and put it on a turntable too. And but everybody in high school that liked that kind of music was just an asshole. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, so I like different music. And Pink Floyd was one of those big bands too. Like you just could not get over Pink Floyd in my high school. So.
No. James asked, Subspecies. I love Subspecies. They're not great, but I love them, and I have the box set and a Radu action figure. So obviously, I must love it on some level. Becca loves Radu.
They're fine.
Yeah.
I don't have a strong opinion on them.
And Eldon, we were not on last Saturday. I don't believe, right? We weren't on last week.
No, we weren't on last week, so you didn't miss anything, Alden.
I have a question for you guys.
Okay.
What is on your Christmas list? What are you guys looking to get for Christmas or give for Christmas?
Gigi, you go first.
I mean, are we asking what I'm realistically likely to get?
If you had a dream gift, what would it be?
To be able to travel again. That would be, that would be the ideal. But, a whole lot of people have to stop being silly.
Yeah.
I went to a casino last night and not a single person had a mask on with me.
Oh my God.
It was very frightening.
But yeah, I mean, if you're talking pie in the sky, that would be the dream. Because I used to love to travel in the before times, and you can't really do that now because for a variety of reasons. And yeah, that would be the thing I'm actually likely to get, like several titles from the AGFA catalog. Like if you want like the answer that might actually happen.
Bill?
Well, I don't know. There really is no one thing that I wanted. There's a whole bunch of movies out there that I would love to get. There's a lot of stuff I didn't buy during those Black Friday specials at Severin and Vinegar Syndrome. I mean, I think I have everything I want. Does it sound weird to say that? I don't really want anything.
No, that's like a good thing.
I just there's so many movies I have that I still haven't watched. They're still in the shrink wrap. And that's what I really would like is just the time to sit down and watch a whole bunch of movies.
I would like a day or two to no responsibility of just watching movies would be lovely. But
yeah,
without being on phone calls nonstop and dealing with the temperamental people that I work with, it's been an interesting week. But that Smut Without Smut AGFA title looks pretty cool too. Almost got that.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of AGFA and also Mondo Macabro. Somebody over there, I need to put on my tinfoil hat. They need to get out of my brain with some of the things they put out.
They put out amazing stuff. They put out so much good stuff this year.
So here's a question for the both of you. What's the best Christmas present you ever got? Like, think of something that you got, either when you were a kid or more recently, that it was the best Christmas present. I mean, maybe not that, but this is something you really loved. He was like, wow, I can't believe I got it.
My brother bought me the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier a couple years ago, which is, for me, the biggest gift. Non-movie gift. But it's a 7-foot-long aircraft carrier. And it didn't come in at the time, but he only got the pilot, the admiral that comes with it. And he just sent me that, and it had a note that coming soon, this giant thing is going to be shipping to your house. So that was really cool.
When a 7-foot package shows up at your door.
They came in like 3 giant packages because that's how big it is. It's really big.
You are so geeky about your G.I. Joe toys.
Oh, I got a new Zartan in the mail today. I almost brought him up to show you guys. Yeah. I'm very geeky about G.I. Joe, I admit it.
What about you, Gigi?
The ability to spend Christmas very far away from home and basically just drinking a glass of wine and watching the ocean hit the wall of a castle. That was the best Christmas gift I ever got.
That's amazing.
Yeah, just to spend 5 days, far away from home, staying inside this old Spanish Armada castle, and the weather was, it wasn't warm, but it wasn't so super cold. So I just grabbed a glass of wine and the candy they had left everyone Christmas morning in their rooms, and I just sat and watched the ocean. That's it. I could have died the following day, and I would have been fine.
I'm glad you didn't. My favorite gift that I ever got was I don't remember how old I was, but it was when I started to get I was becoming aware that you could buy movies on Super 8 and watch them at home. And I was probably like 10, 11, and I asked for a movie projector, and I got it. And that really sort of changed my life. The ability to just collect movies and keep them seemingly forever, even though nothing is forever. Yeah. Those reels all turned.
Yeah, I was going to say that was before people really realized how fragile.
Yeah, but that was really exciting. That was a good Christmas.
I actually, don't tell Noah, Bill, but I bought him 2 Planet of the Apes Migos tonight. There's new ones if anybody collects them. Target has.
You just said it over the air. Anybody could go back.
Noah give a shit about horror movies at all.
Matthew wants to know if Gigi's ever seen The Witch Who Came from the Sea.
Yes. It's fine. I do not love it as much as everyone else does. I think it's more interesting visually than anything else. Like, I like the look of it.
I told you that the director that did Censor said, "Oh, I should have watched that movie before I made my movie." Rick, yeah, you probably should.
That movie, it felt like 2 different movies split in half to me. Like the first half and the second half don't relate at all. Censor.
I think you and I have discussed it before, but
yeah,
I just want the movies that she was watching in the Censor, not the Censor.
It just felt like 2 shorts stitched together to me. There wasn't any real connection between the front and back half.
Yeah. So a lot of people loved it though. So hey, there seems to be this like need sometimes, and I'm not as much that movie, but other movies where it's like people proclaim these things as new classics, and it's like, yeah, they're all right, but they're not. I don't know.
I think it's kind of because you have like that constant like 24-hour news cycle, and everybody wants to be the first. And the more, big dramatic pronouncements, this is the best, this is the worst, they do better in terms of engagement. So everybody's rushing to be the first to say something. Mm-hmm. So if you really want any sort of realistic consensus of, if it's a good movie or not, wait like 6-8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really true, because even for myself, that I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a movie and thought like, wow, that was really good. And then I don't even remember that I saw the movie a couple of months later. So, there's only certain movies that stick with you. And I don't know. I saw the Last Night in Soho. Mm-hmm. And everybody loves that movie. And I was like, well, I liked it. I thought it was really good. But I mean, I probably won't ever watch it again. I don't want to like run out and see it again.
I didn't care for it.
It was just sort of, it was inspired by a lot of the same things that I like, obviously, and it wasn't bad. And I thought it was a satisfying experience at the theater, but like I wouldn't buy a Blu-ray of it and own it forever. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just sort of crotchety.
I might really like it.
I know you really liked it.
I did. I can't help it.
Bring it.
No, I dug it. I had a good time watching it. I like his movies. And I just think at the beginning, the thing that won me over in it was like seeing the marquee of the movie theater, and they walked in and it had a bunch of Amicus posters on the marquee. I know that's not a reason to completely fall in love with the movie, but just like I just liked everything that was happening. Again, I was probably in the right mood for it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm like very open and amiable to movies.
It looked great. It looked nice.
Yeah.
The performances were also pretty strong across the board. The problem was the script for me.
Yeah.
Because, that third act reveal doesn't make any logical sense no matter which way you turn it. Like who you're supposed to feel empathy for versus who becomes the villain of the piece at that point.
It was very much, they always talk about these movies are Giallo influenced. It was a bad Giallo influenced movie where it's like the least likely person will be the killer. And you're like, oh, okay. It felt like that.
Yeah, it felt more like a twist for the sake of having a twist rather than anything that made narrative sense. Because, again, I didn't like how your sympathies were supposed to change because the people who did get killed, who gives a shit? They were all horrible. Like, I'm so bad about this.
Yeah. But I get to say, though, the beginning was beautiful, though. I
feel like the whole movie looks great across the board.
The dance scene at the beginning, and it's crazy. I watched the director's notes on, I thought it was CGI, and it's not. It's literally them switching partners. There's like one little camera move that they tweaked, but the most of it's choreography. So like I really loved that part. So I think there was more that I liked and didn't like, and for a movie made in the last, couple of years to like that much, I think was pretty positive. Here's another question for you guys. Is there a movie made this year that you really liked? Like that came out in 2021?
That's the only movie from 2021 I saw. Oh no, I saw In the Heights.
Oh, okay. Did you like that?
I did like it, yeah. I thought it was a little I don't know, like it seemed like it was speaking to a generation younger than mine, maybe.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed it, and I talked about it with Mark afterwards. I was like, yeah, like I wish that like almost every song hadn't been done like a rap song. And the main character got on my nerves a little bit, but I thought, that's probably what a lot of people said about Singing in the Rain when it came out. Is like, well, these, it's like songs for the younger generation, but I really I enjoyed it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Musicals aren't really my big thing, but I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Gigi?
The extended cut, the re-edited cut of a Japanese film called Junkhead was the best movie I've seen all year.
Yeah.
Both in terms of its incredibly labor-intensive stop-motion animation. I think it took them like 8 years to finish it. It did the festival circuit in like 2017, never got distribution, and there was a re-edit that made the circuit again this year that was a little shorter and a little tighter. And it's really sweet and really existentialist, and it's all in the context of this like adorable little robot that keeps getting smashed to pieces and put back together again in this bizarre, like alternately H.R. Geiger and steampunky world. I really hope it gets a wider distribution this time. It's a fantastic film. It's even just for the sheer amount of labor involved, it's worth watching. But the storyline is actually very engaging, and things that tend to be that existentialist, especially things coming out of Japan, tend to be dour, where this is a much more like celebratory tone. It takes this person being put into a robot body to realize what it means to be alive.
Heavy. That's interesting, though. I don't know if you said this. I missed it. When was the movie originally shot? You said that they re-edited it.
I think they finished it in probably 2016.
Okay.
There was a cut that was a bit longer that made the rounds, and I think 2017. And then this past year, they shaved it down by about 15 minutes and re-released it. And I'm hoping that it gets picked up for a wider distribution this time, because, it's a little bit tighter and there's a little bit less exposition. There's a little more action that would probably play better to the Western market. So hopefully, because I really enjoyed it. And I'm not the kind of person who really, I don't go to bat for movies like that unless, it really kind of did something unique for me.
That's great. What are you looking forward to this year, both of you? Like I know there's a whole bunch of stuff on the horizon that's coming out, and what are you looking forward to? Anything in particular?
Well, first of all, I haven't seen Benedetta yet. And I'm sorry, a lesbian nun movie from the guy who did Showgirls, take my money. Take all of my money.
I have to admit, I'm a little anxious for that too.
Yeah, I mean, I have to get off my butt and try to go see it, because that is an absolute necessity. Trying to think. I saw a lot of my big anticipated titles this year ended up kind of being I haven't heard of anything that's definitively on next year's slate that I'm super excited about.
Well, how about older movies that are getting new Blu-ray treatments, or something's coming out? Are you excited about anything on the horizon? There were a lot of announcements made recently.
I haven't heard of anything that I'm I super have to have it.
Yeah.
But I'm really picky with how many physical titles I buy, just because I have no space.
Yeah.
I have a drawer. It's this big. It's literally.
I get it. Yeah. That's my same thing. Is like I don't just buy everything that comes out because I don't want to end up with no offense, but like I don't want to end up with a giant Sam. No offense, a giant like wall of movies because I just don't have the room for it in my house. You have a great room for it, but I don't. So
Yeah, I mean, blessed if you have the room and the space, do you? But like,
yeah.
I literally have one single like regular size drawer, and once things don't fit in that drawer, some stuff's got to go.
I do understand the impulse. I'm looking forward to Shriek of the Mutilated. There's a new transfer of it coming from Vinegar Syndrome this year. I believe it's Vinegar Syndrome. And I'm very excited about that. I can't wait to get my Night of the Demon in the mail. It's supposed to be here like Monday or Tuesday. My Christmas present to myself.
Matthew, the Out of the Blue Dennis Hopper reissue, I got to see the 4K of it, and it's awesome. It's really cool. There's not anything different in it, but it's a great movie, and I had a blast watching it. I think Argento's Dark Glasses I'm excited for. Afraid of it.
Please
Excited.
don't be a disaster.
I feel really mean. It's probably going to suck. Like 9 out of 10, 99% not going to be good.
But how bad is it going to suck? Is it going to be like Dracula 3D suck? No, or is it going to be like...
It's going to be at least as good as Sleepless.
Yeah.
So that's good. Right? I mean,
I like Sleepless. It was okay.
Yeah. I'm really excited that Vinegar Syndrome's been teasing they're going to put out Intrepidos Punks for like 2 years. Someone from there told me that it is coming out this year. We'll see. But yeah, they put out a whole slew of Mexican VHS era horror stuff earlier this year, like Don't Panic and Grave Robbers. All those movies are great. And I want more of those this year. And my big dream is Night Train to Terror box set. But just let's get that out into the world. Let me just say that with all the shorts blown up to full size. And yeah. So. And if anybody would like me to talk throughout the entire thing, I'm offering my services to be on it. Even if not, I'm still excited about it.
Well, you can't because Kat Ellinger and Sam Deegan are already doing it.
Shit, they already did it? Okay. By the way, if you guys, and this, again, not a sales pitch, but if you guys are excited about, if you guys follow the Kino Cult channel, a bunch of new stuff went up on there, which is pretty cool. And then a ton of new stuff's on Tubi, a lot of Severance stuff like Raiders of Atlantis. Like, their releases are like a month or two behind. And Drop Dead Fred's on Tubi and didn't come out from Severance. So whoever did that 4K rescan of it, it also went up on Tubi. So you need that. I'm excited about the Mark asks, is everybody excited about the All the Haunts BR set? Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I can't afford it. So I temper my excitement with anger at people that can't afford it. I could afford it, but if that set came in, Becca saw it and would say, how much did this cost? 200 something? And then I'd be sleeping in the car. So I'm real happy to sleep in bed. The bed's great. The bed's comfortable. So.
I don't Severin because their website basically never works whenever they have something interesting. So I don't generally Severin very often. It's like a holiday tradition. You have a slice of pie and Severin's website crashes.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. But hey, I'm really glad that they rescued Night of the Demon and so many other movies too, that I'm just crazy about. So
Vince, I agree. I need a Roberta Finlay box set like now.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Take my money.
Mm-hmm. That's another good one to bring up.
I would love to see a John Hayes box set. Chris Warfield, maybe. There's a couple.
J.G. Patterson. And that Roberta Finlay box set. We've been talking about that for a while. Like, why hasn't anyone done that?
Well, I've been screaming about like somebody please clean up the Psychopath. Like, so that I'll just add that to the list. Roberta Finlay box set.
Well, I think this is the end of our show. We're closing in on 2 a.m. and we've gone way over an hour.
It's the last show of the year. It was an extra bonus. But because, we won't be doing any more shows together until, sometime in the new year. Everyone, whatever holiday you celebrate, have a wonderful one. Thank you so much for tuning in, for reading, for joining us, for coming to chat with us about movies. We love you all.
Ditto that.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for sticking around and watching this. I appreciate everybody that's on here.
And we'll see you in 2022. I mean, here's hoping that it's better than the last, but that's a low bar. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Have a nice holiday. See you in January. And be safe, be happy. Join us.
Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.